Jai Jagannath and Namaskar. Welcome to YouTube channel Divine Sri Kshetra. In today's episode, we'll discuss about how the temple, Shree Jagannath Temple in Puri, has been constructed as a three-storied structure. Many of you may not be knowing that there are three levels, one above the other in the temple. There are huge chambers. Before going into the details, I would like to discuss briefly about the temple building tradition of Odisha. About 1500 years back, the Odishan temple artisans, they started constructing smaller temples first, and gradually they went for bigger temples. In Odisha, normally two types of temples are found. One type is called Rekha Deula, Sri Jagannath Temple and Lingaraj Temple. They are Rekha Deula, the main temples, and Pidha Deula, the Jagamohana called Pidha Deula. The Rekha Deula corresponds to the body parts of human beings like Bada, Gondi, Beki or neck, and Mastaka or head. Head is or Angla, and then Kapuri, and then Kalasa and Nilachakra and the flag. So this is the design of a Rekha Deula like Sri Jagannath Temple. The temple artisans of Odisha, for the first time in 11th century AD, they tried to construct a huge temple, which was Lingaraj Temple. Then within 200 years, two more huge temples they have constructed. One is Sri Jagannath Temple in 12th century, and Konark Temple of Sun God in 13th century AD. So three huge temples were constructed within a span of around 200 years in 11th, 12th and 13th century. And each one was bigger than the previous one. Like Lingaraj Temple is about 180 feet tall, whereas Sri Jagannath Temple Puri is about 215 feet. And the youngest one, the Konark Temple, was the tallest among them, which was around 225 feet tall. There is a scientific reason how much height one temple can attain depending on the size of the sanctum sanctorum. Normally, the sanctum sanctorum is a square, whereas outer perimeter of the temple is a circle. Normally, the temple builders during that time, they can go up to 5 times of the size of the sanctum sanctorum, the length of the sanctum sanctorum. They can go up to 5 times. If it is beyond 5 times, it becomes very unstable, because all these temples, they don't use any cementing material. The stones are stacked one above the other, and sheer gravity, through sheer gravity only, they are standing till now. And there are 2-3 major forces which can topple the temples. One is cyclone. As all of you know, this Odisha coast is prone to very high wind speed and very big cyclones, and cyclone can push this temple easily. And second is earthquake and lightning. So these are the major natural events which can damage the temples. If we see the height of the temple, I think Konark Temple was very tall. It was more than 5 times of the Garbhagruha's length. So it might have fallen because of instability. That may be a reason. In 12th century, the Jagannath Temple, which was constructed, is also entirely a gravity structure. There are 3 stories in Jagannath Temple, which very few people might be knowing about. Normally, when we visit the temple, we see the ground floor, which is Sanctum Sanctorum, where the Ratna Bedi or Ratna Singhasan is there, and all the deities are seated there. The roof of this Garbhagruha is at a height of around 45 feet, and above that there are 2 more chambers. So this temple, Sree Jagannath Temple, is around 214 feet height. It is having Pancharatha plan, and as per the Silpa Shastra, it is called Shivacha Khandasala, which is Lord Vishnu's favorite temple. The best example of Kalingan temple architecture is Sree Jagannath Temple at present. In fact, Konark temple was the best example, but the main temple has collapsed in the meantime. So at present, among the existing temples, the best example of Kalingan temple architecture is Lord Jagannath's temple in Puri. At that time, they have used iron clamps to join different stones, and cementing material they have not used, as I have already told. And the sanctum sanctorum is a square having each side is around 30 feet. Sandstones were primarily used for construction of this temple in Puri and in Bhubaneswar, and the sandstones have been sourced from the hill ranges close to Bhubaneswar along Mahanadi river. They are called Athagar sandstones in geological terms. Some khondalites have also been used in Puri, and in Konark, the temple is constructed entirely using khondalites, which are sourced from an area called Tapang area in Khordha district. So, how these huge stone blocks were transported to the relatively inaccessible areas in Konark and Puri, that is a mystery. Most likely using the distributaries of Mahanadi river in the delta area, these stones have been transported. There are two rivers. One is called Daya, which is flowing very close to Lingaraj temple in Bhubaneswar, and Bhargavi river, which flows very close to Puri, Sree Jagannath temple. These two rivers have been used for transportation of these huge stones through waterways to these two locations. And river Kusabhadra, which is also a distributary of Mahanadi, has been used for transporting stones from Khordha Tapang area to Konark. At present, there is a small river very close to Konark, which is called Pathara Buha Nala, means stone carrying river, which is existing very close to Konark even now. So most likely waterways were used during that time for transporting these stones from about 100 kilometers away to Puri and Konark. The door frames of these huge temples are built of different material. These stones are chloride stones with very fine engravings. Door frames and the big statues in Puri, Konark and Lingaraj temple. And these stones are not available near Puri or Bhubaneswar. These stones are most likely brought from Baleswar district, Nilgiri area, which is more than 300 kilometers away. And they might have been transported through sea route to Puri and Konark, because that time there was no road route to Puri, and such huge stones could not have been carried on land. For hoisting these huge stones during construction, they must have used muscle power of both animals and human beings, mostly elephants, and also huge ramps they might have prepared during that time. So after about 500 years of construction of Sree Jagannath Temple Puri, there was severe damage of stones by saline effect and water seepage. So the then kings of Odisha, they decided to plaster the entire temple with lime, because lime was available cheaply from seashells. So they could procure huge quantity of lime, and it used to take 2-3 years to plaster the entire temple with lime. So I will discuss details about that, how it was plastered and it was deplastered, and how this temple was called White Pagoda because of that. There were 9 distinct layers of lime plaster, total covering around 1.5 feet thick, and how it created a lot of problem for the temple later on, because that time it was the best conservation effort which they could have done. Now I will discuss about the 3 chambers about which details were known during deplastering work and the repair work which was taken up during early 1990s. Above the Garbhagruha, if you see the Sanctum Sanctorum, above it around at a height of around 45 feet, there is a roof, and the second chamber or the middle chamber begins from there. The presiding deities, they sit on the Ratna Singhasan inside the Garbhagruha. There are steps from the wall at a height of around 20 feet connecting the middle chamber. So to the middle chamber there is a pathway from the Sanctum Sanctorum itself, and during maintenance we have visited that chamber and we have seen that, and holes have been done on the floor so that the smoke and humidity etc. can escape to the middle chamber and outside. Otherwise it will create problem inside the Sanctum Sanctorum. So at a height of around 20 feet on the wall there are steps, stone steps going into the middle chamber, which is also having a height of around 35 feet or so. So during maintenance every year during Ka festival, the technical team and the engineers, they maintain the entire temple including the first floor. The first floor has got a corbelled roof. Corbelled roof, the stones they join like this, and then there will be a slab around 3 feet thickness of floor is there. During 1990s when the repair work was taken up, when stone fell in 1992 inside Garbhagruha from this roof, after that a strong steel frame has been erected just below the roof of the Sanctum Sanctorum, so that in future there will be no stone falling. If the stone falls, it will be trapped there. There is a top floor which is the second floor above the middle floor, and for this second floor there is no access from inside. If you closely observe the temple or see the temple photographs, you will find 4 distinct holes which are just below the bekki or the neck of the temple. There are 4 tunnels are there which are visible from outside, having a cross section of 1.5 feet by 2 feet in all 4 directions. And when the repair work was going on, the people could crawl inside, and at that point the wall thickness is around 14 feet, whereas in the Sanctum Sanctorum the wall thickness is about 18 feet in Shree Jagannath Temple. So after 14 feet then the people can descend by another 20 feet to reach the floor of the second floor. So when people went for the first time after so many centuries, they found a paddy husk of a thickness of around 3 feet which was lying on the floor, and around 29 stones had already fallen from the second floor roof and they were lying there. So the technical committee which went inside and inspected during 1990s, they repaired the entire second floor, and chemical treatment has been done, and there's a steel structure which has been erected there to give support to the wall and the roof, and necessary grouting and other things have been done so that in future no stone falls down. And the paddy husk which was there has been removed. Around 50-60 bags of paddy husk was lying there. So accordingly they have repaired the entire thing. So the ground floor and the first floor and the second floor repair work has been done, and the floor has been perforated so that the smoke goes out through first floor and through second floor. And in 1996, exhaust fans were for the first time installed in 3 of the holes out of 4 holes in the second floor, so that it can suck the remove the smoke and humid air from the sanctum sanctorum through the 2 roofs. Above that, there is Kalasa, then Nila Chakra, and there is Patita Pavana flag, about which I will discuss in the next episode. I hope you had an idea about the design and the structure of the temple. Jai Jagannath, Namaskar.